What I want to do first is I really want to thank our commissioner and Brian and Jose for putting on a wonderful, Hall of Honors and Fame dinner and banquet tonight. So thank you very much for doing that. You guys did a great job. Then I want to say, first of all, I thank God for this opportunity. It's truly a blessing to be receiving the Lee McKinney Award. To know people that you work with and you spend years with in this business would think of me and nominate me for this is quite humbling. I also want to thank the selection committee as well for this honor, and I want to thank Lisa Bash DeFries and Brian Kleiner, who I work with at Spalding, for nominating me for this award. I did a little research and I watched some former award winners give their speech, and the common theme that everybody referred talking about Coach McKinney was, first of all, what a great person he was, okay, which is obviously very special. And then the other thing I got from watching those videos was what a tenacious competitor he was. He obviously was a man of great character, good morals and values, a person that everyone trusted and respected, and a good role model for all of his student athletes. So I got to know Lee a little bit once Spalding got voted into the conference, and we had a couple of conversations. And I think we hit it off because we both had that basketball background. You could tell that he was very passionate about the game of basketball, and you could tell he was a competitor, without a doubt. But you also knew that he loved the game, and he loved coaching, and he loved his student athletes. And that's pretty special. In fact, Coach McKinney reminded me of my college basketball coach. Now, I know some of you won't remember Denny Crum, but I played for Coach Crum at the University of Louisville, and he too was a tenacious competitor. I don't care if we were playing horse in the gym or if we were playing ping pong, he was out to win. I'll give you an example of that. And Bob Albano. Now, Bob Albano is the brother of the late Jimmy Albano, and Bob lives in Louisville, Kentucky. So this is years ago, but he put together a bocce ball tournament for a charity in town. Now, back then, I couldn't even tell you what a bocce ball looked like, right? But Bob put together two teams. One, Louisville basketball players played on, former players, and the other was a team of former UK players. Okay, and of course, Coach Crum coached our team. Coach Crum made us show up 3 hours before that event so we could practice and prepare for that game, because that's how competitive he was. He wanted to win. And from what I've heard about Coach McKinney, that would describe him as well. However, I consider both Coach McKinney and Coach Crum as men of great character who believed in doing things the right way. I will say this, I was never, in a locker room or on the bench with Coach McKinney, but in 4 years at the University of Louisville, playing for Coach Crum, I never ever heard him use a curse word. Not once. I never saw him throw a chair across the floor, like someone else did, or try to choke anybody in practice, even though we deserved it from time to time, I can guarantee that. But when I think, Coach, I will say this, Coach would get on the officials, okay? I have to be honest. He would get on, but he was always very professional, okay? He was always businesslike. And I think he did that for a reason, because he wanted to show us players that, hey, keep our head in the game and to tune out all the distractions. He would deal with all that. But it's pretty cool when I think about it. I look back on that, and Coach McKinney reminded me a lot of Coach Burkman, and that says a lot about Coach McKinney. Having played for a guy like Coach Crum, I've been blessed to meet a lot of incredible people and coaches over the years. I know you young athletes don't recognize these names, but people like John Wooden, okay, Larry Brown, Coach Dale Brown, Al McGuire, Joe B. Hall, all these guys were men of great character. And they would also show acts of kindness and always good sportsmanship. My favorite quote all time, John Wooden: "Ability may get you to the top, but it takes character to keep you there." Like in 1983, Louisville played Kentucky in the championship game of the Midwest region. Louisville won that game in overtime. And the first person in our locker room to congratulate all of us was Joe B. Hall. Now, what an act of kindness. What an example that was. To show that to all of us young players, that shows great character. Later in life, Coach Hall and Coach Crum would become best friends. And they had like 10 years in a row that they had this sports talk radio show that was #1 in the state of Kentucky. And I had the privilege to be with them on several occasions and to hang out with those guys. And they continued to coach me and help me be a better person and a better man. And I'm confident there's a lot of former athletes out there that would say the same thing about Coach McKinney. Another example of showing great character happened in 1980. Y'all probably didn't know I played on a national championship team, did you? Huh? I was very blessed. I'm telling you the truth. I was just lucky to be there. So in 1980, we're playing in Indianapolis, my hometown. We end up winning that game, and of course you can imagine what the locker room was like after that game. It was packed. I mean, media, family members, coaches' wives, you couldn't get dressed. They finally came around and said, "Look, just grab your gear. We're going to get you to the bus." Okay? So the local law enforcement was there. We go outside, and they get us on the bus. We get in our seats, we're all, walking on cloud nine, high-fiving it. We just won a national championship, right? Who walks on our bus? UCLA's coach, Larry Brown. He goes from seat to seat, and he shakes everybody's hand and congratulates all of us on winning the national championship. Who does that? People like Coach McKinney, and people like you in this room, who have dedicated your lives to athletics and being good role models. And I'm going to point you out. Okay? All of you in this room. I know you. All right? All of you. You're all role models. Never forget that. I can go on and talk to people like Coach McKinney and Coach Crum that played such a significant role in the lives of so many young people. We cannot put a price tag on that. And I believe there's a special place in heaven for those people. It's important that we remember them and honor them and their accomplishments. And I'm so proud of this moment. I want to say again how grateful that I am to the selection committee, and to this guy right here, Dick Kaiser, and to Lisa Bash, and to Brian Kleiner, to my staff at Spalding, to our president, Tori Merton-McClure, and especially to my wife and family for this great honor. I'm truly humbled by being selected as the 2022 Lee McKinney Award winner. That's pretty special. Without a doubt, I believe God put me at Spalding for a reason. We as coaches and teachers have a responsibility to continue to mentor and be good role models for our student athletes, just like Coach McKinney was for all those years. Thank you, and God bless.